to begin, let me welcome everyone to this January meeting of the Monroe County Board of Education. As is our custom, we begin with a moment of silence and then pledge the flag. Tonight, in our moments of silence, if you could remember our friend, our colleague, Freddie Kelly, who has undergone triple bypass surgery and is not with us tonight and probably not with us for a little while, but we want to pray for Kelly and his family tonight. Let's stand together for a moment of silence and for the pledge of the flag of the United States. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. First item on the agenda, 1-9, 1-2, the Declaration of Conflict. Per TCA Statute 49-2-202, Board of Education members who have relatives per the statute. Relatives mean spouse, parent, parent-in-law, child, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, grandparent, grandchild, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, nephew, niece, or any other person who resides in the same household as you. Employed of this system are asked to raise your hands to identify yourself. You certify that the votes you make tonight will be in the best interest of the school system, regardless of the effect that your vote may have upon the employment of your relative or relatives. If so, please say, I do. I do. 1-9-3, recognizing Monroe County Teachers of the Year. Elementary school, Mr. Chris Standridge, teacher at Madisonville Middle School, and high school, Sheena Graham, Monroe County Virtual School. Dr. Windsor.
Okay, I will present these certificates, but first, Shauna Bowers has agreed to read some recognition for these teachers before we hand out the certificates.
We welcome you, Shauna. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm so honored and privileged to come here tonight to talk about these two teachers. And we got multiple applications. Every principal turned in an application, and so it was hard to choose because we have so many good teachers. But the ones chosen for this year, the first one that I will mention is Christopher Standridge, who is an 8th grade ELA teacher at Madisonville Middle School. And a description for him says, Mr. Standridge is an integral part of everything good at MMS. In the classroom, he's an exceptional educator who's always willing to work with his colleagues, facilitate student achievement and growth. He is compassionate with his students, building rapport and relationships that encourage students to engage in his learning. He is involved in multiple things beyond the classroom, student government association, student government, and all kinds of other things, and the students are just thrilled to be in his class. We observed actually there this week, and just a lot of good things going on with Mr. Standridge at Madisonville Middle School. Sheena Graham is a teacher at the Monroe County Virtual School, and a few things that I'd like to say about her. She's kind, caring, and compassionate person, and over the years she has persevered through many issues. She contributes well to her school. She goes beyond what is required of her job to make Monroe County Virtual School a better place. She is willing to help all of her colleagues and students there. She incorporates ELA standards and math standards into her lessons and works with even students that are homebound. So tonight, I think we just should congratulate both teachers, and I am just so proud of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations to both of you. We commend you. We're grateful for your work. I would not want to be on the committee that has to select teachers of the year. We have them in abundance around here. So thank you all very much. We do honor you tonight and appreciate your work more than you know. We come now to item 1-9-4, approval of the consent and regular agenda.
I'd like to make a motion that we to amend the agenda to include a letter of intent to move forward with EESI and skilled services, two different letters of intent to move forward with what we're looking at doing with them.
Thank you for this motion. Is there a second to the motion? Second. I have a motion and a second. And the motion before us tonight is to amend the agenda to include a non-binding letter of intent to EESI and skilled services. Any question or discussion related to this? Hearing none of you ready to vote, the motion is we amend the agenda to include a non-binding letter of intent to skilled services and EESI. If you favor that motion, would you please say aye? Aye. Any opposed, no? And the motion carries. Let's add that as 197-A. We'll consider that after the approval of the Science and Textbook Committee. Now we're back to the motion as amended, that we approve the consent and regular agenda as has been amended. Do I hear a motion related to this? Thank you, Joe. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Sharon. I have a motion and a second that we approve the consent and regular agenda. If you favor this, would you please say aye? Aye. Any opposed? And the motion carries. 1-9-5, approval of the January 2025 budget amendments. Do I hear a motion related to this? Thank you, Joe. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
A motion is second. Any question or discussion?
What's the fund balance? Pretty good.
Dean, did you get one of these?
Yeah, I've got it. I just
Okay.
wanted everybody in here to hear how much we had.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I want to make sure you had it before you. Any other question or discussion?
I will say that we're doing good on that. I don't, you know, which we're really not in the saving business, but I was talking to one of the former directors, and I was telling him we had 11 or 12 million dollars, and he just couldn't believe how that we used to operate with 1.5 to 3 million. And so somebody's doing pretty good, or type one.
Thank you, Mr. Williams, for your comment. Go ahead, Mr. Comment. Motion before us is that we approve the January 2025 budget amendments. If you favor this, would you please say aye? Aye. Any opposed, no? And the ayes have it and the motion carries. 1-9-6, approval of the minutes from the December 12, 2024 regular board meeting.
Make a motion, we approve.
Thank you, Richard. Is there a second?
Second.
One second, I'm not sure. Is that you,
Yes.
Mitch? Thank you. Any question or discussion related to this? Hearing none, the motion before us is to approve the minutes from the December 12, 2024 regular board meeting. If you favor this motion, would you please say aye? Aye. Any opposed, no? The ayes have it and the motion carries. Ready now for consideration of new business on our agenda. 1-9-7, approval of the 2024-2025 Science Textbook Committee. That is Justina White, Barry Carroll, Paige Taylor, Maria Underwood, Whitney Dyer, Jim Konesic, Jill Grayson, Casey Atkins, Jada Coe, Emily Roy, Chris Brannon, David Matlock, Josh Monholland, Shauna Bowers, Eric Weaver, Laura Jones, Alicia Conley, Trey Ferguson, Kelly Robinson, and Stephanie Lane. Do I hear a motion related to this?
I make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Sharon. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second that we approve the science textbook committee. Any question or discussion related to this? Sir, your silence as a readiness to vote. If you favor this motion, would you please say aye? Aye. Any opposed, no. And the ayes have it, and the motion carries. 1-9-7-A. We have a motion before us to consider granting a non-binding letter of intent to EESI and Skilled Services. What's your pleasure concerning this?
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you, John. There's a second. Motion and a second.
Explain to me what this means.
Philip, why don't you take a moment and explain to Dean? We talked about this, so we had a 30-minute presentation, Dean. And just give me a thumbnail, if you will, Philip. We have time.
It's looking at doing another energy conservation project. The first one we done, we're saving about $197,000. What we've done previously, we want to continue on. And this is looking at up to a $5 million loan from the state of Tennessee. The savings that the loan pays for, the savings will pay for the payment going back, so it'd be a budget neutral cost to the schools.
Have we got the other one paid off?
No, we took the 1.7 out of fund balance. So it wasn't a loan that we had to go into, we just pulled the money from the fund
So
balance.
you're going into a loan this time for $5 million.
Correct, and then the savings will pay for the loan.
This is guaranteed by the state.
But
That's right.
we're looking at it right now. This isn't, we're not going into the loan at this
Well,
point.
I just-
Yeah,
It's something that you'll be pleased with, because I sat here knowing you weren't here, trying to think of what you would be asking if you were here, so when you look at it, I think you'll be pleased.
Dean,
I
all
think
we're doing
Phil would
right now.
agree.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I just didn't really,
The
I thought.
initial thing that is required from us is to provide them, both parties, the state and
skilled service.
Skilled Services, a non-binding letter of intent so they can begin to flesh this out and bring it back to the board.
And it's not a grant, it's just a offset and loan.
Yes.
Because grants are not free. This is gonna be free if we.
Correct, correct. Does that answer your question? Kind of, sort of?
Pretty well.
Thank you. Any other question, discussion? Motion before us is for the
Mr.
board to
Chairman?
approve it.
Now, this doesn't have anything to do with the HVAC, and I apologize that I wasn't here. for
Oh, that's
the
fine.
workshop. This doesn't have anything to do with the HVACs in the gyms, right? This is just, this is just the energy savings.
Philip did give us a figure on doing the HVACs in the gym, and I'm sure he can be glad to share that with you. The motion before us is to approve a non-binding letter of intent to select services, the EESI, from our board. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed, no. And the ayes have it, and the motion carries. We come now to old business. And Dr. Windsor, we turn to you. Not that you're old, but the business is old.
Both. Our current enrollment is 4,876 students, and that is up 10 from my last report in December. We're just over 12 weeks, roughly 60 instructional days away from spring TCAP and EOC testing. April 14th through May 2nd will be for grades 3 through 5. April 14th through May 6th will be for grades 6 through 8, and end of course testing for our high schools. As you've heard by now, we will not be having school tomorrow, January 10th, and that is 2025. I sent out an announcement. I had to first correct the date, then I had to correct the year. I do want you to know that your principals and supervisors are very detail-oriented and very quick to let me know that I had the date wrong first. And I thought I'd caught it. I said, I already corrected that. And they said, yes, but it's 2025. I said, and it is. So, had to correct that. But with that being said, the reason I'm saying that is that's due to the likelihood of incoming bad weather, and it's pretty highly predicted that's going to happen. So I just ask that you keep in mind, in the job that I have to do, in the seat that I sit in, that it is my academic responsibility, as is all of ours, to have our students in school when we can. So the decision to close school is not something that I take lightly or that is done hastily. So even though today was a lot easier than some days will be, I just ask for your continued patience, knowing that we have a responsibility to our students. And that is always what I take into account when looking at that and trying to weigh that versus safety, because obviously safety is of the utmost importance. So as we move into winter weather, I ask for patience and understanding. And when you read those posts and comments on social media, just know that I too have feelings. We do have our family and community survey up for 2024-25, so please make sure that you go online and fill that out, because we do like to hear your feedback. And as always, we are happy to improve in any area that we can. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.
Does any member of the board have a question, comment for Dr. Windsor? We have moved through our agenda items tonight, but Mr. Ridgel was asked to make an announcement. John?
Yeah, on February 13th, which is our next board meeting, the policy committee is going to meet at 5 o'clock. I'm asking all the people on the policy committee to review all of our board policies before then. We will spend most of our time on the handful of policies that are changed because state law has changed from last year to this year that we're going to have changed, and TSBA is great to work with us on that to help us out. So just be updated on your policies before we come in at 5 o'clock on February 13th.
Thank you, John. Any other announcement, comment? If not, we'll entertain a motion to be adjourned. Thank you, Joe. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's not debatable, we just have to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no? The ayes have it, the motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you all
Good
for
ball
being with
game
us tonight.
tonight, you know. Penn State, Notre Dame.